But I don't want no tea. It gives me a headache.
Oh, what shall we have then?
Coffee.
Hey everyone, welcome back. It's been a while since I made my last video. We had a lot of rain over the past week or so. Today's the first day that it wasn't really humid out, and painting conditions were perfect except for a good wind. But I was able to paint today. I put on my bottom hull color, and I also painted the con tower and the torpedo, which I had forgotten to paint earlier. I forgot to do it. But anyway, I was able to paint those today. But before, I was going to do it last week before it rained, and Marion had called me, my friend from the model club, and said, hey look, before you paint, because I was guessing at what colors I wanted to use, he said, hold on, I've got this book that I made up from the internet, and I want you to take a look at it, and it'll help you with your colors, and depending on what U-boat you want to do, it'll do that. It'll help you. So he took all these, took them off the internet, color pictures and charts and everything off the internet, and it helped me tremendously. It gives you breakdowns of parts, what colors they would be. The bottom hull would be this color, or the top part would be this color, depending on what submarine you pick and what time of the campaign it was and during the war. Basically what it comes down to is I picked a U-boat that I had some decals from, that I got from the photo etch set. So I'm going to use a set of decals from here, and so because of that, I picked the U-boat I wanted. Then I got the colors I needed. So basically, this page here, I'll show it to you if you can see it. I'll zoom in on it a little bit. This page here is your colors that they used during the. Let me see if I can get that light out of the way. It's kind of blinding in this one section. These are the colors that they used during World War II for the U-boats. Get a lot of that glare. But anyway, so what I did was I created a paint chart of all the grays that I have from Vallejo. And I don't know if I'll have a picture on here or not. I did take a picture of it earlier, but I created a paint chart, and it worked out really well. I was able to match the colors I wanted, so it ended up coming, I wanted a dark gray and dark blue gray. These two colors right here. So those are two colors. I'll use this for the upper part of the hull, and the dark gray for the bottom hull. I have a black and brown I'm going to use for the deck, because the deck was wooden. They put that creosote or whatever that stuff is on the deck to soak into the wood, and it made it black. Well, Marion was telling me probably a black brown because it would wear and everything else like that. So I got some of that Vallejo paint. So it's working really good. I've got my colors picked out that I wanted to do, and you know, the charts in here are fantastic that he has. Yeah, let me see if we can find it real quick. Yeah, here's all. Let me pull back a little bit. Here's all your boats at what times they are, and what color they'd be on top. The bottom hull color was usually a dark gray, like I have on the chart here. I matched that up, and but it worked out really well. I was able to find my U-boat that I wanted to do, find that top color, and all the other colors. It lists things in here for like the wooden deck, wooden tower floors, guns, what color the guns are, the 88 and the flak guns, the life belts, the radar navigation lights. It's just a really great book. I did copy this. I asked Marion, can I copy this? He says, sure. So I copied it. So now I've got my own copy. But today, I went to primer the tower, conning tower. Here it is. It's all primer. That's Vallejo primer. Before I did it though, I don't know if you'll see it. You'll be seeing the pictures. There's a little wire guide here for the wiring. I put that on ahead of time because trying to glue that on afterwards would be a real pain after it's painted, and it wouldn't stick very well. So it's primered and done. So this thing is ready to rock and roll. I also primed the torpedo like I like I really wanted to. I masked off here with Tamiya tape, and I left the center, the aluminum color that the torpedo came in. It was turned aluminum. So then I just painted the ends with primer. So I'll do those, probably this and this end, dirty brass. Probably the same for the propellers on the boat. I was reading in the book about that. They'd be real dirty and algae looking by the time they got back into port. Brass color. So I've got those done. The biggest problem I had is I went to spray the primer on here, and you know what? I don't like Vallejo primer. Maybe the bottle I got was really bad, but it didn't spray with the beans. It was like going in and out, and I thinned it really well. It just was weird. I don't know what to say, but beyond that, just didn't want to go on. It took like 3 coats to get it to where it is now, 3 or 4 coats. It was a pain in the butt, especially trying to put on that aluminum piece. Whew, the torpedo. Oh my gosh. But anyway, my main point is that I was trying to say was, when you look at these 2 colors, you see gray primer and the dark gray. Okay? There we go. They look, if you can see, well maybe not, but I'll show you a picture in this thing. I'll take a picture of the 2. The dark gray looks way darker than a gray primer. And I thought, wow, that's great. So I went to spray the sub. I can't tell the difference between primer and dark gray. So I decided when it got finished, I got so frustrated I got finished. I said, well, let me see here. So I took another, these are all the swatches I'd made it, and here's the difference. You could, I don't know if you could tell or not, but look at the difference between that primer and dark gray. Hey, but when you look at that in the sub, I'll show you that next. When you look at that in the sub, it's like, wait a minute. I can't tell the difference, but that could be me because I'm partially colorblind. So I can't see the difference between them. Let me get it over here. Come on, mister. I took pictures of this, but I don't know. I took pictures, but it's hard to do with this thing hanging like it is. I cannot tell the difference between the side and the deck. They look the same gray to me. I mean, the side is the dark gray and the deck is the primer. You got me, but I guess they're so close on the color card. All I could figure is that maybe because I primered it with the darker gray primer, that when I put the dark gray over top of it, it didn't make much of a difference. You got me, buddy. I mean, I can maybe see a little bit of a difference in here, but not really. Even outside, I couldn't tell at all. But that's all right. I guess if that's the color it is, that's the color it's going to stay, and that's fine. Next step I have to do, we have a model meeting. Oh no, we have a model contest to go to tomorrow. A lot of the club members are going, and it's for the SCMA club, and they're mainly a car club, but they do the military stuff because we're interested in them and we help them out. So they start adding military categories to the contest. So we're going to go judge tomorrow, sell some of my models and stuff tomorrow. So after tomorrow, I will put on the Tamiya clear coat on the sides and the bottom, because I want it to be super glossy. So when I put the Tamiya tape on, after it dries for a couple days, I'll mask it off, and then I'll put on my dark blue-gray. So I'll be right back. Let me put this hanging back up again. There we go. The blue-gray will be this color right here. Very nice gray. There's a little tint of blue, so that will be a good contrast between this and the dark gray. I think it'll work out really well. Other than that, let me see if I have the bottle of blue gray here. Yeah, here's the difference, supposedly. Oops. Here is the dark gray, and here is the dark blue gray. So that should be a good contrast. And you know, that's what they did back in those days. The ship I'm doing, it's 5.6, I think it's U-boat 564. Those are the colors they called for. Those are the colors that they, you know, one thing like they said in the book, that, you know, depending on conditions, depending on the way the paint was mixed, depending on anything, a lot of different things, the colors weren't perfect. I mean, so it's like German armor. You know, those guys were out in the field doing tanks, and they were handed a thing of paint. Well, camouflage your tank. So the guys would mix it with whatever they could, diesel, gas, whatever, water, and they'd splatter it on the tank and paint the tank the best they could. So the hues and different, even if it's the same paint, the hues would be different, darkness and lightness. So I'm not too worried about that, but that's the colors it calls for. That's the two colors I'm going to use. They're close enough to where the chart that Marion gave me was. So that'll make a big difference for me. I'm happy with that. So basically after that, after I get Tamiya clear, I will mask off the edges. I will paint it the dark blue gray. And after that, I will start detailing. Woohoo! Oh, I know I got to paint the deck. Never mind, I got to paint the deck that brown. Let me see if I have it. Let me see if I have it. It is. Where is it? I know I have it here somewhere. German gray, sea gray. Here it is. It is German camo black brown. So that'll be the color of the deck. You can actually see it's. You can't really see, but it's got a little brownish tint to the black. So that'll be my wood color on the deck, and it'll be all detailing and putting everything together. So once I get that done, I'll be back and show you what I've been doing. So everyone be good. I'm gonna have a fun time at the contest tomorrow, and we'll see you when I get back.